Why we only reach out when something is wrong. The silence of modern friendship. Let me ask you something you probably haven't thought about today. When was the last time you reached out to someone just because? Not because you were stressed. Not because you were having a bad day. Not because you needed to vent. Just because. We live in a world that is always online. Always reachable. Always available. Yet somehow it feels like we only truly connect when we're in pain. When something is wrong. What does that say about our relationships? Our culture? Ourselves? This video isn't about blaming. It's about understanding. About facing a quiet truth in how we relate to others and how we relate to ourselves. Because buried inside this pattern is a profound opportunity to heal something deeper. The pattern we don't notice. Let's get real about how this shows up. You go weeks without talking to someone you care about. Nothing dramatic happens. Just life. Work gets busy. Days fly by, you think about them, but you don't say anything. You assume they're fine. And then, one day, you wake up feeling off. Something goes wrong. You're anxious. You're lonely. You had a fight with your partner. Suddenly, their name pops into your head. You send a message, "Hey, can we talk?" They respond instantly because they're a good friend. And you talk. And for that moment, things feel better. But the cycle repeats. We're unintentionally teaching ourselves that connection is equal to crisis. We don't know how to reach out during joy, or in boredom, or in the calm, uneventful middle. We wait until things are bad enough to justify bothering someone. And over time, this builds a kind of emotional transaction. I give you my pain, you give me your time. That becomes the only bridge between us. What's dangerous is how normal it becomes. So normal that we don't even realize how lonely we've been until we're already falling apart. This pattern doesn't just affect how we talk to others. It starts to change how we think about ourselves. I'm only worth someone's time when I'm in trouble. I don't deserve attention unless I'm hurting. Nobody wants to hear from me unless something is wrong. This is more than poor communication. This is self-worth dressed up as business. And it's everywhere. The Stoic perspective. Let's shift the lens. Stoic philosophy, ancient, simple, and brutally honest, has a way of shining light on things we've grown blind to. Epictetus, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, they all faced the same emotional dilemmas, even in a world without phones, calendars, or inboxes. Epictetus once wrote, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Let's apply that. We can't control how others respond to us, but we can control how and when we reach out. The Stoics taught that friendships are not for convenience. They are part of virtue, a reflection of how we practice our values in real time. If you only reach out when things are going wrong, what are you practicing? Reactivity, dependence, urgency. But if you reach out when things are calm, when nothing is demanding attention, that is where character is formed. That's where real strength lies. Seneca said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." Notice how he didn't say save you, or fix you, or rescue you. He said improve. You improve someone by being consistent, present, kind without occasion, reliable without crisis. The Stoics remind us a good life is built on intention, not impulse. The same is true for a good relationship. Why people nowadays are like this? Let's face it, modern life isn't designed for emotional closeness. It's optimized for convenience, speed, productivity. We praise the grind, we wear burnout like a badge of honor, and slowly, we start to see emotional expression as inefficient. We think, they're probably too busy. They haven't messaged me either. I'll wait until I have something meaningful to say. But here's the truth, emotional distance isn't caused by lack of love, it's caused by lack of intention. We've been conditioned to wait for a problem to reach out. Why? Because we're uncomfortable with vulnerability when there's no clear purpose behind it. We feel safer when there's an excuse. Think about it. You wouldn't hesitate to call a friend if your car broke down. But you might hesitate to call just to say, "Hey, I missed talking to you." We've made affection conditional. Even worse, we've made it performative. We only text when it looks like we're supposed to. Birthdays, holidays, life events. But the quiet, random moments of presence, we've stopped prioritizing them. And those are the ones that matter most. A real-life example. Let's talk about Mia. Mia was always the strong one in her group. Independent, reliable, didn't like asking for help, the therapist friend, the listener, the one you called when your world was falling apart. But Mia had a rule: she never reached out unless she had to. So when she lost her job and spiraled into depression, she stayed silent for weeks. Her friends assumed she was busy. She assumed they didn't care. The loneliness was unbearable. But still, she told herself, if they really cared, they'd reach out. One day, she finally texted her old college roommate. "Hey, I'm not doing well." The reply came instantly. They talked for 3 hours. Cried, laughed, reconnected. And at the end, her friend said, "I had no idea. I was just waiting for you to reach out. I didn't want to intrude." That was the moment Mia realized something had to change. She made it a mission to rebuild her connections, not based on crisis, but consistency. She started setting reminders to send one kind message a day. She reached out when nothing was wrong. She checked in randomly. 6 months later, her relationships were deeper than ever. And her depression, while still there, felt less heavy, because now she wasn't carrying it alone. How to overcome this? So how do we undo years of unspoken patterns? Start small, but start. 1. Send a nothing message. Not a rant, not a request. Just, "Hey, I thought of you today, hope you're well." 2. Normalize silence in your conversations. You don't need to entertain people, you just need to be there. 3. Create tiny rituals. A Sunday message, a monthly voice note, a quarterly call. Build rhythms that don't depend on crisis. 4. Say what you feel before it becomes a breakdown. Don't wait until you're drowning to ask for help. Check in while the water is still rising. 5. Tell people you're available before they need you. Offer your presence as a gift, not a favor. Remember, connection is a muscle. If you only use it during emergencies, it will weaken. If you stretch it daily, it will grow strong. Final reflections. We only reach out when something is wrong because we've forgotten what it means to be fully seen. But it doesn't have to stay that way. You are allowed to exist in someone's life without a problem to solve. You are allowed to be remembered without a crisis attached. The most healing thing you can do for yourself and the people you love is to show up without a reason. That's what makes a relationship real. If this message made you feel something, pause for a moment. Think of one person you haven't spoken to in a while. Not because anything's wrong, but because you care. Send them a message. You might be surprised at what it unlocks. And if this video helped you reflect even a little, click the like button. It helps us reach more people silently going through the same pattern. And if you want more deep dives into how we live, love, and struggle in today's world, subscribe to the channel. We're building something honest here. A space where these conversations matter. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being the kind of person who wants to understand.